self-defense cane. This is a Cane Master self-defense cane. You can have this style cane or any other cane that has a crook on it. You can even use the cane that has the palm rest. This is actually a Cane Master's feature that they came up with, Grandmaster Shuey, who started the company years ago, and then you see these now, these become really popular with other self-defense canes. But whether yours has a cane rest or you can use a derby cane, that's the one with the straight handle here on the top. But we're gonna be using this Cane Master self-defense training cane. You're gonna start with this forward spinning motion, and this is gonna warm up your joints. It's gonna get you ready for training today. This is also gonna become a useful self-defense technique, starting from having your cane on the ground. You can swing it to push somebody back or knock somebody back. You bring it down over the top, bringing it back this way, and it all starts here with this simple swing, palm facing the sky. You can see you're holding your hand closed, but you're not squeezing it. So you want it to be able to move and go through your hand. This is also gonna put some callus on your skin. This is the first part of the warm up that I'd like to see you do. After you do this for about 30 seconds in your hand, you're gonna start to bring your hand over and back in this figure 8 motion, also known as an infinity sign. Just coming down and back. You can think about it as a slap across the face followed by a backhand. Alita, good to see you. I'm gonna lower the camera a little bit so you can see a little bit more of it. I might have to take this, there we go. I'm gonna have to take that sound out. It's gonna flip the camera. So you're coming across the back, making a simple figure 8. The other hand is up and out of the way. When you're ready, you're gonna throw it into the other hand with the palm facing up. Good morning, Aaron, good to see you. Palm is facing the sky, your hand closes, and you're pushing forward and pulling back in this cranking motion. Do this about 30 seconds here. I want you to do both hands with the same amount of time. So you become more ambidextrous when you're defending yourself with your walking cane. Then you're gonna bring it across and back. Cane self-defense, whether you use a Cane Master's cane or not, is made up of simple, basic strikes, sometimes some blocking techniques. Very rarely will you do some fancy move. Most of it's gonna be practical and basic, simple. This cane, because it's 36 inches long and is made out of hard wood, this is oak, this becomes a force multiplier. So if you're standing here, someone's closing the distance quickly trying to hit you, you can bring it up and back very quickly. You can bring it up and down over the top of his head. You can snatch it up here, bring it down, you can bring it back, and that all comes from this warm-up spinning motion that you're practicing when you're training with your walking cane for self-defense. So just coming across and back. Again, put it in the other hand. Hand just covers the other hand, close the palm, and go forward. So this is the most basic spin you can do. This is the second most basic. And then if you want to get a little bit more intermediate, you can bring it over and spin it on the opposite side of your body. And what's happening here is your thumb is out, keeping it from walking up your arm, which is what it will do if you don't keep your thumb out. So your thumb's out, it's across your body, and you're spinning it here. And this cane spinning is also used kind of like a boxer might skip his boxing, this is jumping rope. So spinning, get your heart rate up, it's gonna give you calluses on your hands, allowing you to slide your hand up so that you can strike with your cane when you need to. Sliding it down, that call comes from the spin. It's also going to teach you timing and distance. So when you do need to strike, you can strike and hit them before they hit you. And it's gonna teach you some spatial awareness. Hello, Luke, it's good to see you. Spatial awareness meaning that if your hand is in the wrong spot, you're gonna whack yourself. So you're gonna learn very quickly where your body is and where your cane is in relation to your body. Now, after that, I want you during this training with your self-defense walking cane or walking cane for self-defense, throw in a couple sets. You move back so you can see. Your feet are just turned out like a duck. And you're going down and up. And the reason I want you to do this squatting motion is all of the strikes with your walking cane come off of the ground for self-defense. Now that's not true if you're confined to a chair. If you're in a chair, you can't do these squatting exercises, but you can, if you're sitting in a chair, you can do your spinning exercises. So do the spinning exercises when you can. Lean into your cane. Your cane kind of goes out at an angle, and you're leaning into your cane so that you can take some of the weight off of your body. Alita, thank you so much for that super sticker, that super chat. So you're leaning into it, using your arms, your chest, your whole body is getting a workout here. And it's not so you look pretty on the beach. It's so that you have power in your legs, in your core muscles, in your arms, in your chest for self-defense. You can hit somebody harder when you're using your cane for self-defense. Now, in this training with your walking cane for self-defense workout, you're gonna slide your hand up so that the crook is now under your pinky. You can do that one of two ways. One is simply bend and slide, and then it's in this position. The other is to lift and allow it to slide in your hand. So however you do that, either practice this way or lift, let it slide, and I want you to spin. I want you to see this really closely so you can see that your hand is closed. And you're spinning to the outside of your body with your cane master, self-defense cane, or whatever cane you're using. You can be using a walking stick, you can use an umbrella, full-size umbrella. After you do this for a little bit, bring it inside and spin to the inside of your body. Again, your hand is closed. That's allowing you to get more flexibility in your wrist and to build power in your grip and your forearm. After you do this, put them together into that figure eight motion again. And all of this spinning, when we go into these basic angular strikes for self-defense, are gonna make those strikes harder and faster because you're doing this training, this warm-up right here. It's the third thing that I'd like you to show me when you're getting certified to teach. And if you don't want to get certified to teach, don't. Just learn it for yourself, for your own safety and security. But let's say you just got your black belt from another great cane master, like someone like Gary Hernandez, who's got a great channel here, by the way. Gary and I are going to do a video soon talking about starting over, what you do when you, as you get older, how do you stay relevant and how do you protect your family and yourself as your life puts you through physical changes that are outside of your control. And some are in your control. You eat too much, we sit too much. But how do we do that? After you've done that with one hand, Gary's a little bit older than me. He's a fellow Marine, fellow martial artist here in South Florida. He's on the other side of the state. But someone I find has a lot of great ideas, very practical. Some of you guys know Gary, train with him. But if you were to get a black belt from Gary, or just be trained with him or somebody else, and then decide that you wanted to one day teach and you wanted a certification from someone who offers it, like myself or somebody else, if you're asking me, I'd say, I want to see this. And if not, just do it because it's going to make your strikes so much harder and faster, so much more practical. Now, the fourth thing that I want to see you do is while you're training with your self-defense walking cane, you're going to put it into your right hand and you're going to lunge forward with your left and backward with your left. This is for the same reason we did the squats. It's going to lean your body out. It's going to make you stronger. All of the strikes come through the legs. And if you can't do this because you don't have mobility in your lower body, don't do it, obviously. But if you can, this will get you a little stronger faster. And a big part of being able to defend yourself well is going to be getting out of the way Sometimes forward, sometimes backward, usually more often to the side or at an angle. But it's gonna start here. After you do that for 30 seconds, put it in the other hand. Now you have your left hand on the cane. Your right hand, or your right foot, is moving forward, bending both knees, coming back. This is all warming up for training with your self-defense cane. And you might say what seems obvious, and is to everybody watching, I would imagine, you're not gonna be doing lunges. If someone's coming at you trying to punch your face, you're gonna be blocking and striking. Or if you're me, you're not even gonna block, you're just gonna strike. And all of we're doing this because this allows you to hit harder. So of course you're not gonna do lunges. You're not gonna warm up before the guy attacks you. You're just gonna use your cane. So get past that. All right, I wanted to show you one more thing as I think about it. Just clean my knife, so now it comes out a lot faster. I must have dropped it. Cleaned it and sharpened it. I try to do that once a week. You got reach advantage with your self-defense walking cane, especially a cane master's cane. And most, you can have it made in any length you want. So if you're taller, again, this is that cane with the palm rest. Let me show you how to use that here in a minute. It's a lot taller than the other cane. This is for a taller person. This isn't practical for me. This was actually made for somebody else. And it's a little bit, you can see there's a bend in my elbow. If you size your cane, you want the cane to come to where your wrist bends. That's where the crook should be. And when you use a cane, here's one of the features of this palm rest. Palm rest is designed so that you have the crook of the cane facing the thread. We're gonna go into the strikes here in just a second. You can also pop it up here. This becomes an extra striking surface, either as like a little axe or as a big axe coming through this way. Some of these can be not sharpened, but made more narrow, coming to a point, or it can be rounded like this, and they're very effective for striking different parts of the body for self-defense. Or, this part here, you can go into, have more surface across, instead of the round part here, catching it here, catching into, there's a pressure point in there. When we used to spar in martial arts, sometimes you would pretend like you're going for his face and then actually hit him there to kind of deaden that nerve, make it harder for him to lift that hand to guard the head. You just reach in, he'd have a good guard over here. You go through that, keep smashing that until his guard just slowly does one of these, and then you got the other side of the face. So you can strike with surfaces like that. So that's one of the features of having this part here. So now we're gonna practice some basic strikes. And I wanna go through what I think are the easiest to learn, the fundamental strikes, which would be with the crook facing behind you in the more traditional way that people carry it. I want you to have it in your front hand. You're gonna slide down the shaft of the cane so that it's in your hand this way, and using it almost like a sword or an eskrima stick, a collie stick, a baton, a police baton. You're gonna put it between you and the threat. So you're gonna intercept him with your cane. The first strike is a thrust, and that's simply extending the arm, rotating through the shoulders and the hips, and then to maximize your power and the speed of the strike, taking a little step, almost like you're fencing, or throwing a jab in boxing. That's with the front foot. This is your right hand. The cane is between you and him. You can see I'm covering myself up. I'm interrupting your line of sight with my cane, and I'm gonna just stick it right in your face. Now, it's not a very hard strike, but because of this hard piece of wood, I'm gonna go lift the camera a little bit. There we go. It's gonna go into his nose, his teeth, into the throat. That could be a fatal strike. If he's got a knife, there's not much to think about. Take him out for self-defense. Into the solar plexus, you can come down between the belly button and the private parts, going lower, so you slide your hand down, pick it up between you and him. First one is a thrusting motion. Pull it to your shoulder, slicing through. Think temple to jaw. Think what can you remove or destroy, his ability to see or be awake. This comes from Tim Larkin's book, Violence is the Answer. I'll put the link in the description if you need to get that book. But you're just striking temple, jaw, neck. Think upper arm, shoulder. Think between the arm and the shoulder and the elbow. That upper arm maybe into his elbow. Joints will break easier than the bone itself. Maybe he's reaching out with that knife. You're striking that knife. So first strike coming off your shoulder, second coming off the other shoulder, making an X. So coming down, palm facing the sky, bring it up and through. Think ribs to shoulder or jaw to temple. Coming up this way, again, he's reaching in with that knife, or he's gonna slash, or he's trying to punch or grab you. Smash his hand out of the way, bring it from the other hip, coming up the other way, coming across horizontally from the same shoulder, coming through the center line, turn your palm down, bring it back. Another horizontal strike, and then finally, straight down vertically, top of his head, break his clavicle, smash the hand. He's holding on to your wife, your grandchild, your daughter. He won't let go. Some innocent person is choking him, smashing, breaking all the bones, the two bones in his forearm. So from this position, sliding down, pick it up, thrust, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then put it in your other hand. Same thing, this foot's forward, it's your left hand, left foot forward, slide down, fight behind your cane, get behind your self-defense cane. First motion, thrusting into his face, shoulder, shoulder, hip to shoulder, other side, horizontal, coming back, and then down on top, and then constantly switching. I want to see you be able to switch from one side, and gradually, as you do this, picking up the speed of your strike and striking more forcefully so that you're starting to get winded and you're starting to put pressure onto your wrists and your forearms because the speed of your strikes are increasing so that when you need it, you can hit as hard and as fast as you can. We don't want to go slowly while we're fighting. We want to fight fast as we can. Not as fast as I used to be. You might not be as fast as you used to be. And we're still going to get better. We're going to get a little bit faster. Now that's where I want to bring in your resistance bands. Good morning, Scotty 10X. If you put your resistance band, this is going to increase your speed. It's going to increase the power of your strikes. Put the resistance band close to the crook. Then, holding the cane in the front of your chest, reach behind your back, and I cheat. I turn the cane and swing the band behind me. Thank you, Scotty. Scotty says, way to get after it. It's my workout this morning. Wind is picking up outside. They're picking up the trash. Lots of sounds here in the garage dojo this morning. But we have one on each side. Now, for 30 seconds, don't worry about counting repetitions. Just go for time under tension. As I get older, as you get older, we know the body responds better to resistance training when it's done for a certain amount of time instead of counting reps. And really counting reps gets you to the time too. But if you're like me, you cheat. You go too fast if you're counting reps. If instead you focus on how long can you keep the muscle under stress so that it starts to get more dense, more explosive, you start hitting harder. I call these standing push-ups. We go for 30 seconds, up to 2 minutes. And with this size resistance band, 30 seconds is a good set for me. I can now feel it in my triceps, I feel it in my chest. So I'm just gonna have you stand here and rest. The second exercise is going to make sure that some people like to put them under the band underarm. Hey Rick, it's good to see you. Rick says, good morning. Somebody says, hey man, put them under. I like to have it over. Now, after a while, it can slap up or slide up and bam, slap in the back of the head. Just push it down again. It'll look like you got a little love tap there on your neck. It's good if it's tight like this. If you don't have a set of resistance bands, start with a light one. This one's kind of medium light, but we're going for time under tension instead of reps. So this is like the perfect size for me. You're gonna push down, work the lower part of your chest and more of your upper arm, more of your triceps, more of your shoulders. And again, you're gonna do this for 30 seconds. Now the way your chest is made, there's an upper portion and a lower portion of that big muscle, the pectorals. This is gonna fire that lower part. I'm gonna do that over and over. My arms are burning this morning from this exercise. But that's good, it tells me next time I go to strike, I'm gonna be able to hit harder. Oh, I know why it's burning. I was waiting last night, some kids were getting picked up late from football practice. I was over at the school doing my security gig, and there was a big metal pole, and I just started mindlessly throwing elbow strikes and palm strikes and knife strikes and reverse knife strikes. And I've just been doing that since I was a kid with the martial arts. That just keeps your bones dense and nerves dead. But I'm feeling it for some reason. That was a good tricep workout. All right, so you rest. The third set with it here is you're gonna go up at this angle and away. And again, this feels like it might slap up any side or slide up any time, any moment, and slap me right in the back of the neck. There it was. The only reason to fix that is because it doesn't give you as much resistance. But take your lumps. If you're like me, you like getting slapped a little bit in the head, in the face, punched from time to time to remind you, keep your hands up. All right, so up and out. This one I find really activates the triceps and the top part of the chest. So you have the three parts. That's gonna allow you to strike harder, faster with your cane or with your hands or with another stick for self-defense using this band. I'm gonna show you how we can use it in the next exercise break, but I wanna go back to strikes. I am gonna lower the camera again, hold on. Now, crook facing you, facing the bad guy, can be in the backhand or the front hand, doesn't matter. From this position, first thing we have you do is get your hands up. And you can see, again, just like the last time, you can either slide it through your hand this way by pulling with a loose grip and then tightening, loose grip, or either stick fighting style, bend the knees and pick it up like this. Either way works. From this position, you now have a big fist. You're gonna do the same as we started the other way. Simple thrust, but now you have more striking surface and you have heavier weight because there's more stick here. That oak will smash the nose using this cane master self-defense cane. Use whatever you've got. Punching the nose. Then I want you to hook the head. Then I want you to answer your phone, lifting to your ear. So 3 strikes in this position, straight, hook, and up. You can be sitting in a chair, you can be sitting on a bench, he can come and get in your face. That punch can be to his solar plexus, could be to his groin. That hook can be into his ribs. This lifting motion, if you're standing up under his chin, or maybe he's reaching, smashing his hand, or if you're seated, up under his groin. But once you get it here, bring this other hand onto it, and then thrust. So from this position, what I'd like to see you show me, bend the knees, pick it up, punching, hooking, and then answer your phone. Uppercut, right? So it's simple. Straight punch or jab or cross, however you throw it. But it's a straight punch in boxing, a hook punch in boxing, an uppercut in boxing. From here, that's how you can remember it. It's not exactly the same, but it's a straight punch, a hook punch, an uppercut. And when you do your uppercut, bring this in here. I want to see you thrust and then chop using this part coming through his temple, coming into his clavicle. Whatever you hit, then rip. This tooth here is gonna grab hold of some skin. Maybe his nose comes off his face, or his eye pops out, or you rip some teeth out of his mouth, or you rip into the muscle and pull that pectoral muscle off of his chest, his bird chest. Slide down here, 1, 2, I don't know why he's got a bird chest. 3, 4, 5. And then other side, always show me both sides. From here, straight, hook, uppercut, 2 hands, thrust, backhand chop. Now, the other thing you're gonna do from here is bring this across, twisting your wrist out, striking the side of his head. This can also be a blocking motion, so I want to see both. From here, strike, and then block. Now the nice thing here is if he does have the block in this hand, he has that blade, means the dull side. He's gonna be hitting wood and not your flesh, right? He's not gonna be slicing through all of that meat and tendon and muscle and skin and cartilage and all the things that make your hand work. Maybe he hits an artery or a vein, God forbid, and bleed out. Instead, let him hit that. Maybe he's swinging some kind of tire iron, baseball bat. He's swinging his cane. He's swinging, what am I missing? The obvious, golf club. And you intercept it here. So you're putting your hand on the back of your wrist so that you can support here. Then you can bring it through, sliding, pushing, punching, boxing his ears, smashing down on top of his head, lift him up, hitting up under his chin, or stick that in his solar plexus, reach up with this hook between his legs, lift him off the ground a little bit. Now you don't have to show me all that, but you probably all know all that anyway, but just your imagination is your only limitation in how you use your self-defense walking cane. I'm just showing you a basic outline to train with. Training with a walking cane for self-defense should be super simple. All the other motions that you're gonna come up with, sky's the limit, use your creativity. I'm gonna lift the camera up a little bit. There we go. Cane facing out, same position. Make sure you do both sides. Again, that's hook or straight punch, hook punch, uppercut, 2 hands, thrust, chop. The next way I want to see you use this is simply lifting your hand. Now this works with the crook facing him or facing you. This one doesn't matter which way it's facing. But from this position, picking it up here. And again, I know you asked me recently, what's the purpose of this palm rest? It makes it ergonomic. Holding your cane with the crook facing the thread is a more ergonomically correct way to use your cane because it becomes an extension of this line. When you hold it the other way, you've changed that line, you've interrupted it here, shifted here, and now it's coming out of your thumb. You can see the line comes here, it's not here anymore, it goes down, now the line's here. When it's here, one straight line. So you have maximum striking force. If you do have Cane Masters build you a custom cane, like this Cane Masters Masters cane, the link is in the description if you want to see what these are. Ask them to put the palm rest on. Then you have more surface to lean into. So ergonomically, it's stronger, but it also allows you to do more stuff. Because this becomes just a little knuckle, right? Slam, taking his teeth out, breaking his teeth down his throat for self-defense. So in this position, crook facing him, lifting, just like you're gonna go give him your hand in a nicer, gentler, kinder world when he's not trying to take your life with his knife or take away your freedom, your dignity, your self-respect, your health. He's trying to harm you. You give him your hand, you shake his hand, right? Instead of shaking the hand, you got the stick in it, so you're gonna hit him maybe between the legs, or he's reaching, you're gonna break that hand, especially with this one is made out of hickory. If you're gonna get a Cane Master self-defense cane, my opinion, my review of the Cane Master self-defense canes, I say go for hickory. It's heavier, it hits so much harder and it won't break as easily as the oak. Any cane will break. Well, maybe not those poly canes, but I find they're a little too heavy. And the aluminum canes, same thing. I think they're too heavy. This is like the right amount of heavy so that you don't lose your speed. I can punch you, hold on. I can punch you barely with this 45-pound dumbbell, but by the time it gets to you, you're long gone. It's too slow. If I have a fist load, like a pocket stick, like I carry with me all the time, it's one of my everyday carry items, or if I put this knife, which is shaped to go into my hand, closed as a loaded fist, bam, a fist load, this little bit of weight, I can go very fast and hit you very hard, knock your teeth down your throat for self-defense. Does it hit as hard as the 45-pound weight? Probably a lot harder because I have speed. 45-pound weight is heavier, but you're not even gonna be there by the time it gets there. So the heavier the cane, the less effective it is. These Cane Master self-defense canes, yeah, Scotty says he's got the 10X, or has the hickory chain cane too. Hickory, it just feel, I like it the way it feels too. And I was watching the barbecue preacher last night, and he was talking about, it has nothing to do with canes, but he was using hickory and oak to smoke his beef and his chicken and his pork on the roadside. And I thought, man, I gotta, if you've ever smoked barbecue, hickory and oak are the best too. Same goes with canes. Just, it's good enough for hickory or for roadside barbecue. It's good enough for smashing somebody's teeth down their throat for self-defense. All right, so you've got it in the back and front hand, doesn't matter. Crook facing out. One hand always comes up. This hand is up for many reasons. One, you're saying stop. So all the people videotaping see you, all the cameras in the security cameras everywhere see when they play it back for the judge, hey, that woman was trying to defend himself or herself. They were saying stop. You see his hands open. He's saying don't come any closer. And then right as the guy comes in, he picks that cane up and smashes him right in the family jewels, or catches him in the chin, or catches him in the hand, or it just pushes him back a little bit. Then the guy came in again and he turned his hand, and simply by turning your palm to the sky, hand to your ear, cranking it down hard and fast, top of the head, smashing him in the forehead. Hassan, thank you for that. It disappeared a little bit too fast, but thank you for that compliment. So you're bringing it up and turning down. Bringing it up and turning down. That's what I want you to practice. The other hand also, if he catches you off guard, he gets too close, you can put your helmet on, put your hand on your head, driving this into his face, get your cane up and smash him in the face. Bring it up this way. I like to have it here. If it's close quarters combat and I'm striking him here, he's close enough to eat my elbow, I'm gonna bring this up under his chin, grab with the other hand, lift this up in his groin, and then boom, chop him down there. And I'm gonna fight as close as I can, not worrying about the ceiling or what's over my head. That's if he comes too close. That's why I want your hand up. So your hand's up, and your other hand, lift like you're giving him a handshake, but you come up explosively, palm faces the sky, smashing down on the top of his head. Switch feet, bring it a little bit faster. Switch your feet, a little bit faster. Every time you do it, a little bit more aggressively, a little bit quicker. I'm having to adjust the way I'm striking so I don't hit the thing over my head. But you get the idea. Practice on your own over and over again. Give him your hand for a handshake. Take it away and smack him on the top of his head for self-defense. Next, in the same position, bringing it across and back, just like a windshield wiper. It's going to go very fast. You're going to hit him extremely hard. You can hit him in the ribs. You can hit him in the head. You can hit him in the knees. And it can come from nowhere. Your hands up, back up, you're too close. You can come and take his knees out very quickly. Or take the knee out here. You realize he's still coming, bringing the back hand up, bring it down at an angle, striking the side of his neck or into the head. Or maybe he's reaching again with that knife. Smash that and then finish off with this. So what I'd like to see you show me is give him your hand, top of the head. Come across, come back. Come across, come down at an angle, come over the top. 3 different combos. Combo 1, handshake, slap the top of his head. 2, windshield wiper at any level, doesn't matter. 3, windshield wiper, back fist, slap the top of his head. Those 3 basic strikes. And we don't have to build 1 million techniques with using your self-defense cane or a walking cane for self-defense. We want to keep it as simple, as basic as possible, so you're not thinking. You should have 3 thoughts. Number 1, what's a better position to get into? Lynn says, very inspiring, thank you. I'm going to order a cane, practice with it. Awesome, Lynn. Check the links below. If you start with the Dojo training cane, they're reasonably affordable, in my opinion. And it might be more expensive than getting like a $10 cane from Amazon or Walmart. But from experience, I've broken so many of those $10 canes within a week. You can buy, 5 weeks, that's 5 canes. This will last you years. I've had them years, and it's $50 or a little bit more, I think. They keep, And cane masters, sometimes these guys are giving them a hard time because they're raising the prices, but everything costs so much more, as we know. So all their raw materials are going through the roof, just like everybody else's. So they're, and that's what you have to remember about the unfair taxation, however you want to look at it, is that it gets passed on to the consumer all the time. People who own the businesses, they might feel it, but they're still driving their nice car, and they've got the boats and they've got the big house. Whatever. And I'm not complaining. I'm just saying that's the reality. We, the consumer, pay more in gas, bread's more, eggs are more. I was at Costco just for the basics. Well, no, that's not true. When I go to Costco, I see all the things that I didn't know I need. And I know that's a cliche and that's a joke. And I hate to fall into that trap, but I do. We stayed away from Costco here for years because it's insane down here. There's like one for 15,000 million people. Where in Ohio, you can go to the Costco in the morning with the business people and there's like 4 other people in there pushing their carts. Get in, get out, get done. Down here, I always am carrying anyway, but I'm more on high alert to Costco with the 500 million old people, not all of them, a lot of them just shoving the free samples down their throat and fighting each other. Give me that piece of garbage. Let me stick that into my gullet so I can pay more in healthcare. It's an exaggeration. Anyway, my point is everything costs more. All right. If you get this kind of cane, it's going to last longer. I forget what my point was. I'm sorry about the digression. All right. So we have, I know what it was, the 3 questions. What can I remove? The first thing is situational awareness. 3 concepts, 3 principles of self-defense. Every law enforcement person that I've ever worked with, and I'm working with them daily now, will tell you situational awareness. And some people dismiss it as cliche, as too simplistic, but you cannot discount the fact, pretend this is the phone, that this is how 90% of the world in the West lives, and everywhere else in the world too, because everybody's got them now. They're either staring at it, watching something, playing a game, texting with somebody, surfing, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, nonstop. And they have no idea what's happening around them. And that's young, old, super young, maybe super old, not as much. Driving, not driving, walking, not walking, sitting on the public transportation, the worst place you could possibly do it. And everybody's sucked into this thing and they have zero, buy once, cry once. Yeah, thank you, Scott, that's a great way to think about it. No situational awareness. Situational awareness means pay attention while it's happening. Pay attention to what's happening around you as it's happening and become less likely to be a victim. 2 reasons. 1, you see it and you can get out of there, or you can be prepared to respond to it, get into a better position, which is our second principle. Or you're not promoting this weak, withdrawn, depressed looking image and posture, which is what it does. You get people who are predators who prey on other people just to hurt them, and they see this, they can't help themselves. It's like a tiger and a weak gazelle. I was gonna say Giselle, a weak gazelle or a weak I don't know, baby hippo or something. They're gonna go for that weak animal because the way they look. It's like almost like they're giving off, they can't control themselves. They gotta kill it. And you get all these people looking like this all the time. And you get these predators who are just, they're mental. We were at the restaurant the other day, a couple weeks ago, and I'm sitting there, like I said, ABC, always be carrying, I'm always prepared, protect my family. And this dude's walking outside, an addict, and he's filthy and he's skinny. And I said a little prayer for him because I know he's really struggling and he needs help, but he's also looking for something. He's looking to hurt somebody else. And what people don't realize is, unless you do like what I do professionally, is when girls get depressed and angry, they hurt themselves often. When boys get depressed and angry, men, they try to hurt other people, take other people out with them. And that's just a reality. That's why you have so many males who do this in schools. That's why you have so many males who, domestic violence. She says, I don't love you anymore, and he's a big baby, and he wants to hurt her and him and the kids and everybody else. It's just, that's the way men are wired. It's sad, but that's true. That's why you need mature, godly men to raise up and lead by example or whatever. Anyways, this guy's outside, and for a good 20 minutes, I can't enjoy my barbecue and relax at this barbecue restaurant because this guy is inching himself closer, and he comes into the restaurant, and the whole time he's just staring me down, and he wants a confrontation. And I've got my wife's alerted. She's got her eye on him. She's nervous. The kids are oblivious, which is good, but they kind of got it. And it's like, in my mind, I've got 16 different scenarios, plans on how I'm going to finish this guy if he did come over and try to hurt my family, or even just try to be inappropriate or whatever. I don't know what this guy's carrying. He's got all this stuff on him. But my point is, you have to be mentally prepared. If you didn't have situational awareness, and I know in that restaurant, there were so many other people who had no clue what this guy was doing. And if he had picked someone other than me, then he could have easily approached someone's table and been right on top of them before they had a chance to have a plan and to be able to respond. So situational awareness, number one. Number two, get in a better position. If you don't have a stick to defend yourself, put your hands up between you and him. Interrupt his line of sight. Make him think and make a conscious decision. It's called pattern interrupt. You want to put someone's going to be ready to punch you in the face. You, hey man, you try to de-escalate, I'm sorry you're having a bad day or whatever, and you have got one foot, you made yourself a smaller target. You put your bony surfaces between you and the threat, so you're not like this, waiting for that punch. Your hands are like this, your hands are open, so anybody videotaping knows that you were not the aggressor. You have a lot of things you can do. You can parry, you can block, you can cover up, you can drive that elbow in his face, you can smash his teeth down his throat if you had to, you can knock him out. You can take a step to the side, another pattern interrupt. While he's barking at you, you're like, yeah man, and then you just step, which forces him to turn his body, which is a conscious decision. Each one of those makes him go back and decide, yes, I do want to pursue this threat. That also gives you an idea, you're not going to get out of it unless you're defending yourself physically. But each one of these things is important. So better position, number two. Number one, situational awareness. Number two, get in a better position. When you do have your stick, that's, if it's crook facing here, you just slide your hand down and you're like, hey man, you're getting too close. Back away from me and my family. Don't come any closer to me. Don't touch me. Don't talk to me. Don't call me those names. I'm just trying to enjoy myself. And your other hand's open. This is less threatening. It's a little bit more threatening, but this also gives him an idea that you're ready to defend yourself. And you tell him, hey man, I'm going to defend myself. And then if you have to, it's just a very quick, and you keep that stick in front of you while you're fighting. You have it here, crook facing out. Same thing, you bend the knees, pop it up. Hey, you're getting too close. Now you get that big fist, that big knuckle. You can, if you have to, you can defend yourself with this. Or he comes in really close, you're getting this hand up while this is coming up, down, through, and back, and you're defending yourself with the swinging motions. Those are also effective. Third thing, you have to ask yourself a question. You take a deep breath, whatever you can get in, because your nerves and your adrenaline's running, your heart's racing, and you need to say, you need to calm down just a tiny bit. You don't want to get rid of the fear. You're going to turn the fear into indignation. Like, how dare you approach me and my family, or how dare you try to hurt me? How dare you try to take away my freedom, my dignity? And then you switch in your mind. It's a mental training that you do. and you ask yourself, what can I remove or destroy? And again, this comes from Tim Larkin's book. And I'm going to put that in the description after the link for the Cane Masters. I know the Cane Masters link is already in the description. I'll put Tim Larkin's book in there. When violence is the answer, and he goes into great detail on how to mentally prepare and how to use principles instead of just techniques. Principles of self-defense, situation awareness, get into a better position, stick between you and the threat so you can immediately respond when you have to. And then number 3, what can you remove or destroy? His ability to see, his ability to breathe temporarily, permanently, maybe his ability to be awake, knock him out, or smash that process of nerves in the neck, flushes the blood out of his head, he falls to the ground like a sack of dog poop. Maybe it's his ability to breathe temporarily. You smash him here, or maybe you come up into the groin, or maybe you go straight down between the belly button and the privates. But what can you remove or destroy? His ability to see, think, breathe, be awake, hurt you, grab you, stab you, punch you, choke you. Maybe it's smashing a hand, he's got that knife in his hand, hitting that hand, and then smashing him through his teeth. Maybe it's taking his knees out from under him. Maybe you're here in this position, he's coming in, and you ask that question, what can I remove? He's coming fast. I'm going for the legs, I'm going for the head, I'm gonna knock him out. He's still coming, you're still fighting. All the rest of the principles, violence of action, close with and destroy. Fight's not over till you win. That's a big one. Don't think you're gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4 punches with your cane or strikes, and then, that's that one shot, one kill. You're not Carlos Halfcock. That's for my Marine friends. You're not the famous sniper who had 300 KI, combat actions in Vietnam. You're gonna have to fight till you win. You might get knocked to the ground. You might be walking and get caught off guard, get smashed in the back of the head. Now you're seeing stars and you've got blood coming through your eyes and you barely see, and you have to turn and get your cane up and then fight coming this way or going that way, or there's 3 or 4 of them. One hits you in the back of the head and you stumble and you're on the ground and they're getting ready to come and stomp your head in, and you get your cane up between you to kind of protect your head, and you start striking what you can strike from the ground. And that's why you ask those questions, what can I remove or destroy? Because it's going to be different depending on the situation. But the point is, if you do get hit and get caught off guard and you realize, okay, I was knocked out for about 12 seconds or 3 seconds, but now I'm awake and he's still coming, I got to defend myself. Yeah, maybe law enforcement is coming, but maybe they don't get there for 2 or 3 minutes. We have this conversation at work all the time. The response time is 3 minutes from the local police department. But in an active situation, in a school, in a public place, we know the average is 7 people who get mortally wounded in an active situation. Yeah, Semper Fi, Scotty says, 7 people per minute. So now, if we have a 3-minute response time from the local law enforcement, that's wonderful, so wonderful. That's 21 people. Which 21 do you want to pick? Right? If it's you and your family, you and your grandson and your wife, and you're, maybe 1 in 3, which one do you want to pick? And I know that, and we know this is a ridiculous conversation because you're going to say 0. I'm not going to let that happen. But to not let that happen, you have to be mentally prepared. That's where the book comes in, When Violence is the Answer. If you read it, it'll change your life if you haven't read it already. I know a lot of you have read it. So When Violence is the Answer, get yourself a good quality self-defense cane. Start with something light and simple, like the, Alita says every second counts. The Cane Master Self-Defense Training Cane, or Dojo Cane. It'll be the first link in there. Or if you're Daddy Warbucks, you're a big spender, a big hitter, as Dan Pena, my mentor, always said, heavy hitter or big hitter. He said big hitter, something like that. Get yourself one of these fancy canes, right? If that's your style. Or I don't have the money. Either way, I like the simplicity of this one. That's just my personal. If I had all the money in the world, I'd still have this one. But these are nice too. These are super awesome, but these are a little bit more pricey. If you want to see what these cost, check that first link. Anyway, you guys have been awesome. Alita, thanks again for that super chat. And we'll be back with more training. I'm going to do a live in a little bit. Today I want to talk about my EDC, my everyday carry. And I was going to talk about 3 different things. 1 is the mental part of it. 2 are the tools that I actually carry. And 3 is non-permissive environments. Because it's so easy. It's so easy to say, oh, my everyday carry, I carry 45 ACP. That seems to be the most common popular answer. And I carry my fixed blade such and such from Stony Knife Company in Montana, Maine. I don't know what, you know. And again, it's because I'm a poor kid that I don't have all the fancy handmade knives that everybody else has. Every time someone gives them to me, I wait a little bit, I say thank you so much, and then I sell them on eBay. Just because I'm always paying bills, right? Some of you guys understand what I'm talking about. It's more important having a nice fancy knife that no one else has, or being able to feed your kids. And then the third thing is non-permissive environments. What do you do when you go in? We've got a field trip coming up. We're going to take the Bright Line down here is the public high-speed rail. Got to go through multiple layers of metal detectors. Only thing I can carry is this. Only thing you can carry is this onto a plane. You can carry this into the courthouse. You can take this into the next Jason Aldean concert. But I can't carry my blade. I can't carry my pepper spray. I can't carry my sidearm. I can't carry half the things that I have in my truck. I can't carry any of them. But you can always carry this. This is why I think it's the most effective self-defense tool in the universe at this time, because it goes into all non-permissive environments. Now, do I carry these? Do I am I a big Second Amendment guy? Absolutely. But you have to know when you use one and know when you use the other one. Anyway, you guys have been awesome, and I will see you on the next